Abraham, faith against odds. Hebrews 11 verses 8 to 12, KJV. By faith Abraham, when he was called to go out into a place which he should after receive for an inheritance, obeyed, and he went out, not knowing whither he went. By faith also Sarah herself received strength to conceive seed. Purpose: to explore the remarkable faith of Abraham, his obedience, trust in God against all odds, the promises fulfilled in Christ, and practical lessons for believers today using only the King James Version, KJV. 1. God calls Abraham. 1. Abraham's background. Genesis 12 verses 1 to 3, KJV. Called out of Ur of the Chaldees. God promises land, seed, and blessing. 2. Obedience without full knowledge. Hebrews 11 verse 8, KJV. Abraham obeyed without knowing the destination. 2. Faith in God's promises. 1. Belief despite impossible circumstances. Genesis 15 verses 1 to 6, KJV. God promises an heir. Abraham believes, righteousness is counted to him. 2. Waiting on God's timing. Abraham and Sarah waited decades for Isaac. Faith involves patience. 3. Tests of faith. 1. Abraham and Lot. Genesis 13 verses 5 to 12, KJV. Trusting God's provision. 2. Abraham and Ishmael. Genesis 16 verses 1 to 16, KJV. God's plan versus human impatience. 3. The ultimate test, Isaac. Genesis 22 verses 1 to 19, KJV. Willingness to obey God fully. God provides the ram, foreshadow of Christ. 4. Faith rewarded. 1. The promise fulfilled. Genesis 21 verses 1 to 7, KJV. Isaac is born as promised. 2. Abraham's legacy. Hebrews 11 verse 12, KJV. Descendants as numerous as stars in the sky. 5. Abraham as foreshadow of Christ. 1. Sacrifice points to redemption. Genesis 22 verse 8, KJV. God will provide himself a lamb. Isaac as type of Christ. 2. Abraham's faith in God's plan. God's covenant fulfilled through Christ. Faith saves and justifies, Galatians 3 verses 6 to 7, KJV. 6. Lessons for believers today. 1. Faith requires obedience. James 2 verses 21 to 23, KJV. Faith must be active, not passive. 2. Trusting God against odds. Faith succeeds even when circumstances are impossible. 3. Patience and perseverance. Romans 4 verses 20 to 21, KJV. Abraham's faith did not waver. 7. The covenant and blessing. 1. God's covenant with Abraham. Genesis 17 verses 1 to 8, KJV. Promise of land, seed, and blessing. 2. Eternal impact. Galatians 3 verse 29, KJV. Believers are heirs through Christ. Abraham, faith against odds. Faith acts before the evidence is seen. Faith obeys God completely. Faith waits patiently for God's promises. Faith trusts God to provide in impossible circumstances. Abraham's faith is a model for all believers.